I'm Dr. Srilata Dhaka, uh, and today we are going to discuss about one of the very relevant and very important topic of English subject, particularly if we associate that subject with communication also, then it is very much important and very much relevant for the students uh, of a level who are just entering into the graduation courses. As after graduation, many of the students will go for the job search, those will go for the further higher studies. So definitely in that context, all these students will require certain skills to be perfected in. With those skills, those can create a very positive first impression on the employer as well as the authority to whom these students are approaching for the first time. So we will talk about, we will discuss the topics of much relevance and much importance. Those are the cover letter preparation and resume or CV writing preparation. Okay, so these documents are quite associated. So we will definitely discuss about these two topics today. Before starting the actual academic discussion, students, I want to notify you today. I had a certain sudden problem in my laptop, so I'm unable to display certain information in form of uh, text today. So that I'll be sharing with you people. I'll have your group ID and I'll be sharing you the textual material later on. So please focus on the oral discussion which you are doing today. And if any question you have, you can just place that in the chat box and we will take those questions later on. So let me start with the cover letter. Let me start with both. Okay, cover letter and review or CV writing. Okay,
Ma'am,
have
your
you
voice is
heard
not
about
clear.
these terms earlier? Yes, voice is not clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, now, is it clear now? Yes, quickly
No,
tell me
ma'am.
if it is clear or not. No, not clear.
Ma'am, clear, clear.
Clear. Okay, fine. Okay, thank you. So let us start with the discussion of uh, CV writing and cover letter preparation with that. See, if as I have given you the hint that these both documents are associated, I'm saying that these are the documents. Okay, why these are documents? Because these are formally structured. And quickly just respond to this question of mine. If you have ever before gone through these terminologies, cover letter and resume or CV, quickly respond, one or two of you, if you have ever heard or read something about these two topics, these two titles. Yes, Himanshu. Yes, Himanshu.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I mean, have you ever gone through these terms before?
Hello.
Yes, have you ever gone through these terms before?
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Yes, Himanshu, you are
ma'am.
not able to hear my voice.
Ma'am,
Have you ever heard or read about these terms earlier? Anyone can answer. Okay. Or the terms are new for you people.
Madam, I did not hear. I think due to this headphone.
Okay. This headset. Okay, fine. I'll remove this.
Okay, fine. Now, am I audible?
ma'am, internet connection is so poor.
Internet connection is poor. What about others?
Hmm.
Yes, ma'am. Now it's clear.
Now it's clear? Okay, fine, good. Okay.
Yes.
So, see, just answer my question that have you ever gone through these terms earlier or the first time you are listening to these terminologies?
Ma'am, which term?
Cover letter, resume or CV?
Yes, ma'am. CV.
CV you have heard before also?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So, in what reference you have come across this particular terminology? Just quickly.
In term of ma'am, when we going to
When somebody applies for some job, okay, so a formal document has to be produced to the employer, okay, for the first hand information of the applicant. Am I right?
yes, ma'am.
Am I right? Okay, fine. Okay, so see, definitely, uh, today we will just take CV. Okay, we will later on someday discuss about resume. Okay, those are uh, same at some levels, okay, but they have certain level of differences also. So we will discuss today CV. Okay, this CV is the abbreviation term I am talking about. The complete form of CV is curriculum vitae. Okay, it's a Latin word. It is now part of English language also. As you have we have learned, okay, that we have a certain categories of words in English language. Those are considered as foreign words, okay, but now those are part of English language itself, but their pronunciation and spelling has been as it is accepted in English language. So CV is also one of that category of word. The full form of CV is curriculum vitae. Okay, so curriculum vitae means the complete course of a human being. Okay, the complete course of action or the complete detail in a simpler manner if we talk about the complete details of a human. Okay, and as CV we are associating with a formal context, that is the job requirement. So in that context, okay, the complete course of information will be totally related to that formal context only. Okay, so in association to that formal context of job, we will develop, or one has to develop, or one has to input certain informations in a particular sequence in CV. Okay, so we have to be quite careful that only certain informations are to be involved in this document. Okay, and also the sequence of the information is very much important. One cannot make a change in that basic sequence of the information. Okay, and also one has to exercise with the effective language performance in this document. Okay, so in this description we must say, so that is the reason these three are the points which make this particular description of the category document. The first one is specific informations are to be definitely mentioned. The second point is that a specific sequence should also be maintained by, in the description of those steps of information. Okay, and the third point that is very much important, that effective language has to be used to develop a certain type of description. Okay, if all these 3 points we bring together, then that particular description becomes a document. Okay, and also as it is associated with formal requirement, formal process, so that is also one of the other reason that this particular description becomes what? Document. Okay, and the title of this document is what? CV. All of you please note down the important points so it will be easy for you to connect when I'll later on send you the textual material. Okay, so that time you will be able to easily connect with the information. So you please note down in your notebooks. So now, as I said, that this particular document requires specific steps of information. So what specific steps of information are to be included in this document? Okay, so that has to be decided as per the purpose of this document, where it has to be used. Purpose means that for what task this particular document will be used. So according to that point, according to that task, one has to decide, or it has been already decided by many of the people, okay, who have the authority on this particular topic. Those have given us a framework nowadays. Okay, in many of the good books of communication, you will find the topic and you will find that already a framework has been given by the experts of this area. Okay, so definitely that has been given through lot of research, through lot of exercise. Okay, so definitely at initial stage one can go for that type of framework. Okay, one more point I add here, that is that as I'm saying that this is a document, okay, and one has to use this document to get a job or to get some other productive opportunity. Okay, so in that sequence, as it is developed by the person himself or herself only, but with a point of basic structure included in that. So in that direction, if we see that one has slight liberty, this point you please note down, that one has slight liberty. Who is one? The person who is developing his or her resume or CV. Okay, so that person has the liberty to develop that particular document in his or her own way. Okay, but it doesn't give the liberty to the person that person can disturb the basic structure, or the person can skip the basic essential information from that document. Okay, so in that sequence, as one has slight liberty to develop this document at his or her own choice, okay, as as per his or her own knowledge of this area. Okay, so a slight changes in the vocabulary, in the, we can say, in the structural part, one can apply. Okay, but we need to keep in mind this particular point, okay, that we are not supposed to create a disturbance in the basic structure, okay, or in the basic essential steps. Because if we will skip that, or if the person will skip that, no more that document will be of the category CV. Okay, so there are certain essential steps that has been guided us by many of the experts, okay, after their, we can say, uh, a long, thorough research. Okay, so as per the basic requirement of the job, as per the basic requirement of the opportunity for which the person is applying, okay, so certain necessary informations are to be provided. Okay, so the liberty I was talking about, that the person can use in context of formatting, okay, in context of formatting CV. So here a new word is there, that is formatting. What do we mean by formatting? Formatting means arrangement of information in a particular order. Okay, that is termed as formatting. Just recall one thing. Okay, I'll ask you to recall whatever you have studied earlier times. I'll be asking from that time itself. See, you might have practiced about letters. You might have practiced about essays. You might have practiced about, or you might have read, or you might have gone through some of the stories. Okay, you might have exercised, you might have practiced précis writing. Okay, so these are the different composition forms I have suggested. So if you agree with this point, as you see a précis, you are easily able to recognize or identify that this is a précis. And if you come across a certain composition like letter, okay, then you just easily identify that this is a letter. So how these identifications are done? These identifications are done as per the compositional structure, as per the steps used in that composition. Okay, see, I'll be discussing about letter writing later on when I'll be discussing about cover letter. I'm just making a small point here that you can just identify easily a letter composition, as you will find the receiver's address, the sender's address, there is some message, okay, there are some addressive words, there is a subscription in that. Okay, if you will find all these steps there and those are arranged in a specific order, you will easily identify that this particular composition is a letter. Okay, so likewise in CV also we have that particular definite structure so that it can reflect that it is a CV. Are you getting this point? Okay, a formal document, okay, should have a definite structure so that the document can itself reflect that form of composition. Okay, that is termed as formatting. This is formatting. Okay, now in CV, we have slight variations of formatting. Okay, I'm just giving you the names. All of you please note down the names, as I have the constraint today of the technical assistance. So the first format, you write full block format. Okay, and the second format is semi-modified block format. And the third one is modified block format. Okay. I think I missed the block word in the first category. I'm just repeating. All of you please note down. Full block format, semi-modified block format, and modified block format. Okay. Now, if some of you have ever gone through some of the examples of CV, okay, at various sources, then you can easily connect yourself with this information that, see, how the description is done in CV in full block format, all these steps, please remember this point, all these steps of CV are described from the left side of the sheet. Sheet I refer here, the paper, the white paper, the white sheet. Okay, all these steps of information will be described from the left side of the sheet. Okay, that happens in full block format. Okay, now check the second category, semi-modified block format. Okay, now in this, you please note down this information. Okay, when you will physically see all these examples, okay, you will easily connect yourself with that. So in semi-modified block format, it is suggested. Okay, see, there is no hard and fast rule in CV resume preparation. Okay, but yes, there are certain suggestions by the various experts from the various corners of this world. Okay, and we can imply them. Okay, so in that situation, what they have suggested that in semi-modified block format, the first step of information, okay, we will definitely discuss about what are the various steps of information. You just note down here that the first step of information is placed in the center. Okay, in the center, above center. Okay, the upper side, okay, and the center point of the white sheet, there the first step of information will be described. Okay, so a slight shifting has been done towards the right side in semi-modified block format of the first step of information. Okay, then rest of the steps of information of CV, those will be written from the left side only. Okay, so a slight change is there only regarding the first step of information, and that is shifted to slight center of the sheet. Okay, and then rest of the steps of information, those are written from the left side only. Okay, so this is the slight difference in semi-modified block format. Okay, now the third format category I was talking about, modified block format. Okay, what do we mean by modified block format, or what happens in that structure? The first step of information, that is totally shifted to the right upper corner of the sheet. Okay, so gradual shifting is done in the various formats. Okay, there is no change in the information. The information remains same, but the position shifts. So in the semi-modified block format, it shifts in the center. In the modified block format, the first step of information shifts at the very right upper corner of the sheet. Okay, these are certain standards we can say, standard formats suggested by various experts to develop various type of formats of CV. Okay, so this particular thing, this particular information should be clear before we actually start the discussion of the essential steps of a CV. Okay, so this is what about formatting. Now let us discuss what are the various essential steps of information in a CV. So before deciding or before discussing the essential steps of a CV or essential informations of a CV, okay, this particular point has to be kept in one's mind, that for what purpose this particular document is prepared, which is named as a CV. Okay, so if that particular document is prepared for some job requirement, okay, accordingly we have to decide the steps of information. Okay, that is, if produced for some of the research opportunity, then also we have to decide the various steps of the information in that CV. Okay, so accordingly, this particular first information has to be exercised well, that for what opportunity the CV has to be prepared, if it is for some job or if it is for some research activity. Okay, see, we will discuss in detail. It's a, we can say, it's a very broad topic. Okay, and in this very confined time, we cannot make justification with the discussion, but anyhow, we must have some initial information in this 1 hour. So in that sequence, I'm just pointing out here that if this particular document, which is titled as CV, curriculum vitae, okay, then there are certain basic informations which are of the essential category. Okay, and please note down, I'm informing about these steps in their sequence itself. Okay, so I am just relating two informations here, the steps of information and their sequence in the C. Okay, and slight variation you will find at different places, at different sources. Okay, if those are not disturbing the basic structure, if those are not spoiling the basic objective of the CV, then we can accept them. Okay, but the very important thing one has to keep in mind, that it should be very effective, it should be appealing. Okay, these are the very important points one has to keep in mind while preparing a CV. Okay, it should be appealing, it should be impressive. Okay, because that is the first hand information one side is providing to the other side without any physical contact, without any physical communication level before. Okay, so the first impression is the last impression. We have all time heard this. Okay, do you agree with this? First impression is the last impression. Yes, students.
Not always.
Not always, but
No.
sometimes. But
Yes,
sometimes
most of the times it happens.
it happens. Okay, okay. So we are talking about the general situations. Okay, the ideal situations, definitely those are exceptions and those are different also. Okay, but yes, in general, the first impression, okay, that lasts for a longer time. Okay, and or you can think of a situation that if uh, somebody's personality appeals you, okay, you are eager to talk to. If at first hand situation, if the personality is not appealing you, you will not initiate for any type of discussion. Okay, so that is this very general situation we can connect here. So if that first document which we are forwarding to the employer or to the other authority for some other opportunity, okay, if that is appealing one, then the chances of further communication are open. Okay, if that is not appealing, then the chances are blocked there itself. Are you getting this point? Do you agree with this point? Arhit? Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Arhit. Yes, ma'am. Do you
Yes,
agree with
ma'am.
this point? Okay, that if that is appealing, that is correct, the format is good, the content is also impressive, okay, then the communication, the opportunity is there, okay, of further communication. But if it is not of the situation, okay, then the output could be a different one, okay, there itself the communication is stopped. Okay, so for that further opening communication, one has to be very careful for an impressive, for an appealing CV preparation. Okay, so in that sequence, let us discuss about what are the various essential steps of a CV. So the first step of information is the personnel details. Please note down the spelling. I'm not saying here personal. The sound is personnel. Personnel. Have you written that? Personnel. Personnel details. Okay. So what informations will be there in the personnel details? The name of the person's parents' name, date of birth, the place the person belong to, okay, the languages the person is proficient in, okay, and the residential or the, we can say, the temporary address of the person. Okay, all these informations are included in the step personnel details. Fine. Now, the second step of information, see why this step of information is the first step of information, because this is the very basic information, who the person is, what is his or her name, okay, what is the family background, what is the date of what is the age of the person, because that again is very important factor for any type of formal opportunity. Okay, so that is the reason. And if the person has to be contacted, where one can contact, here itself the electronic contact email id and the other contact numbers, okay, as if mobile numbers or the landline numbers, okay, those are also mentioned here itself. Okay, those all are of the category personal details. Clear?
Yes, ma'am,
Yes,
clear.
ma'am, clear. So this is how this step is important. Now, the second step of information for the job or for the research opportunity, that is, what is the academic qualification? Okay, that is the essential step of information the employer or the authority requires, okay, for further considering that document, okay, considering that personnel. So academic qualifications, one thing we have to be very clear about here itself, that this type of academic qualification can be mentioned in ascending order or descending order. Okay, and in CV, you please note down this point in your copies, that in CV we never number academic qualifications information. Okay, we do not do sequencing. We will discuss about all these things in detail later on, but these are the very basic informations you must know. that no sequencing is done of the academic qualification information in CV. Okay, and this type of information can be explained in ascending order or descending order. What do we mean by ascending order? Anyone quickly respond? Yes, this is Soma. Yes, Soma, you have unmuted. Please speak quickly. What do we mean by ascending order of academic qualifications? Yes, beta, quickly speak.
Yes,
You want
ma'am.
to answer, Soma? Yes, yes.
From where we started our qualification, like from 10th class to
To the
um,
higher or the latest one. Okay,
yes,
if
ma'am.
yes, okay. Yes, Siddharth, thank you. Uh, or we can say in this way that whatever was, we can say the earlier information that has to be mentioned first. Gradually, what was done, what advancement happened, okay, in that sequence, okay, that is termed as what? Ascending order. Okay, the lowest, or in the simple manner, we can say that the lowest, if we are mentioning first, and the highest, if we are mentioning in the last, that is ascending order. Okay, and descending order, the vice versa situation. If the highest or the latest we are mentioning first, and the lowest we are mentioning in the last, that is descending order. Okay, so one can make a choice. One can make a choice to describe academic qualifications in ascending order or descending order, until unless some specific information is not given in the advertisement, in the instructions, okay, that you have to mention your academic qualifications in a certain sequence. If it is given, we have to follow that. Let it be we are having our own CV, or the person is having his or her own CV, the person has to make that correction, okay, has to make that change. But if there is no instruction, then one is free to either follow the ascending order or the descending order to provide the details of academic qualifications. Is this clear?
Yes.
Okay, fine, thank you. Then the second step of information in curriculum vitae, that is computing skills. Nowadays, this is very essential qualification. Okay, computing skills. I'm repeating the term computing skills. Okay, this is one of the essential information of CV. Okay, let it be. The job is of any category, and for high profile jobs, it is very much essential. We all know that we are surviving in technological era, and in this COVID era,
Yes,
yes,
ma'am.
in COVID era, we can't survive. We can't even think of anything without this technology. Okay, these computing skills. So that computing skill is the very essential part of one's document that is termed as CV. So in computing skills, if one can simply operate the basic features of a computer, of the technology, okay, then one in present time need not to mention them MS Word, MS Excel, MS or PowerPoint presentation, or doing email, okay, or these specifications should not be mentioned in CV. Okay, a single word, one word substitution we have to exercise here, that is basics. Okay, if you're writing the title computing skills and then you are mentioning basics, it means you know all the basic features, you are able to operate all the basic features of computing. Okay, so that will suffice our objective. Now here in computing skills itself, if somebody has done some other certification course, okay, of specific area, one can mention them. Again, this is a step of information which should not be sequenced. Okay, we will not write the information in curriculum YT as 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is sequencing. Okay, so one should not do sequencing of this information also. Just we can mark some, we can use some symbol, okay, for the separate informations. And one more thing we have to take care here, that whatever symbol we are using for the bullets, for the different informations, that should be same in the complete CV. Okay, one does not have the liberty to use different symbols in different categories of information. Okay, the same symbol, if you have whatever symbol you have used to provide informations of academic qualifications, the same has to be applied for the computing skills also. Okay, the same will be applied elsewhere if it is required. Is this point clear? Yes?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, try to respond quickly, okay? So that I can have impression that you all are attentive in the class, okay?
Fine, ma'am. Okay.
Okay,
Better
good,
next.
good. Good. Now, after computing skills, the very essential information is the work experience. This title has to be mentioned in CV. Okay, if the person is fresher, the person is applying for the first time, or that is the job, that will be the first job of the person. Okay, it hardly matters, the title should be there, but what this person will write under that title, fresher. Do not ever write applying for the first time. Nowadays these type of descriptions are considered as a negative point. Okay, a single word will convey the information. If the person is writing fresher, it means the person is applying for the first time, or this is the first job for the person for which the person is applying. Okay, so in that way, the title, the step has to be there, work experience. But if the person is a fresher, the person will write the term fresher. And if the person has some previous relevant work experience, okay, the person will describe that also. Okay, here this information, the work experience information, one can sequence. Okay, what I mean to say here, sequence 1, 2, 3. Okay, again the ascending or the descending order can be applied here. Whatever the very first job was there, if the person is starting from that, and what is the latest that is coming in the last, it will be ascending order. And if the person is starting with this information, the latest job information first, and the very first one at the last, that will be descending order. Okay, so one has the liberty, until unless no instructions are there in the advertisement, one has the liberty to follow any of the order to provide this work experience information, but it has to be sequenced 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so here I will point out, until unless it is not required, do not mention the salary amount. Okay, one should not mention the salary amount of all the previous jobs. That has to be kept for the oral discussion in the interview. Okay, at the time of interview, if it is asked that yes, you were working here, what salary you were receiving, that time you can orally explain, but always keep this point in your mind, that do not mention your salary amounts in all these documents. Okay, let it be, it is a handsome amount or it is a low amount, whatever, it should be avoided. Fine with this. Now, the next step of information, that is professional qualifications. Okay. See, do not think of that after computing skills, ma'am said that we have to mention work experience first and then we are coming to the professional qualifications. This is the right sequence. Okay, because that work experience information is the basic information the new recruiter requires about that person, that applicant. So now the next step of information, that is professional qualification. So in that professional qualification, that can also be sequenced. Okay, and if specific trainings are done by the person, certain specializations are done, okay, by that person, those all informations are to be mentioned here. Okay, because that is part of professional qualification. Okay, that again is a very important information for the job. Okay, so here how the information will be mentioned, that in which of the organization the training or the course was done. Okay, what was the duration of the course? Okay, and what is the status of the person? Either the person is pursuing that, okay, or the person has completed that. Okay, this much information is sufficient. Clear? Now, as I said that this information can also be sequenced. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and also it can be in ascending or descending order mentioned. Okay, so
Ma'am, I have
after
a doubt.
yes, yes.
Ma'am,
This
can we
is
describe that why we left the job?
yes.
Why we left the job?
No, it is yes. This is a good question. Okay, one should not inscribe. What do we mean by inscribing? One should not write anything negative, okay, in CV, resume, or biodata. Even in your cover letter, the job cover letter is the job application only. Okay, one should not mention any negative information. Okay, leaving job, let it be. That is for the upliftment of the personnel. Okay, but then also it should not be mentioned. Okay, see, suppose you have mentioned that uh, working as an executive manager in ICICI Bank. Okay, from this duration to this duration, and the second information is working as senior executive manager in SBI Bank. Okay, from the duration you are mentioning, okay, it automatically reflects that you left that previous job and you joined a new job. Okay, that shifting reason you have to keep for the oral discussion at the time of interview. Reasons one is not supposed to mention in CV or resume of leaving. Is this point clear? Because that is not the essential. That is
Yes,
not
ma'am.
the essential information.
Point.
The reason is not the essential information for the new job. Are you getting my point?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that is not from your side, from the person's side. Okay, that is not the essential information which has to be inscribed. Okay, if it is asked, you can explain orally, but nothing should be in writing. Fine.
Yes, ma'am. Fine.
But here, one more point I'll make here itself. But one is not supposed to provide any false information in all these documents. One has the liberty to prepare, okay, in his or her own way, these documents, but one does not have the liberty to do any type of falsification in these documents. Okay, so no false information should be mentioned. Okay, I'll make a point here itself. Although when we will do the comparative discussion about all the related documents, CV, biodata, resume, okay, by note, we will discuss about the things, but the very common thing in all these documents should be that all the information is precise. Okay, but the detail and precise information should be there. Is this point clear? The details should be there at first hand level, okay, but in a very precise manner, in a very, we can say, short manner. Clear? Here itself, one more point I'll make, that in CV, and this is how the CV differs from resume, biodata, bionote. In CV, all these informations we were discussing earlier, okay, these are written in sentence form. Okay, even the academic qualifications will be mentioned in sentence form. The computing skills, except the basics, will be mentioned in sentence form. Work experience, that will also be mentioned in sentence form. Professional qualifications will also be mentioned in sentence form. Okay, there is no scope of tables. Okay, tabular description in CV. This point you please note down with you. Have you noted this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So after the professional qualifications, the next step of information, I'll just quickly point out, that is academic participations or academic achievements. Okay, what are these? We will continue in next session. And the next step of information, that is professional achievements. Okay. See, in academic achievements, if someone has participated in conferences, seminars, some workshops, okay, and presented papers or simply participated. Suppose somebody has participated in some international conference, okay, just participated, that also is important sometime. Okay, so that can be mentioned. And if the person has presented paper also, that is a very advanced situation, a very good situation. Okay, so definitely that will bring good results for the person. So that can be mentioned here. What do we mean by professional achievements? See, these academic achievements and professional achievements can also be sequenced. Okay, 1, 2, 3, the numbering could be done of these information. These information will also be mentioned in sentence form. Okay, so professional achievements means if somebody has done some project work, you may find some different titles for the same information in many of the CV. Okay, which are there at public platform, okay, in books, at other various sites. You will find the title projects. Okay, so that is the same thing. So a general title we can make here, that is professional achievements. Okay, so if somebody has done some projects, somebody has done some research work, okay, let it be it was funded or it was not funded by anyone. Okay, the expenses were bared by the person himself, herself. Okay, those all professional achievements are to be mentioned under this title. Okay. Then the next step of information, that is co-curricular activities. Okay. And next step is interests. Please note down, there is a lot of difference in these two. First one is co-curricular activities. And the next step will be interests. Are they same or they are different? See, these steps are to be specifically mentioned in the CV. Okay, we can't skip these type of informations also. So please quickly, any one of you, respond to this. Are they same or they are different? Co-curricular activities and interests.
Maybe they are different.
They are different. Okay. What about Surajit Ghosh? What's your answer? Surajit, unmute yourself and answer.
Madam, different.
Different. How?
Mm,
Can you tell the technical difference between two?
Actually, mm,
Yes, quickly.
uh, Madam, one is I'm a bit confused.
Bit confused. Okay, fine. Just check. Okay. And in next meeting, I'll definitely ask you, Surajit. I will remember your name and I'll
Okay,
ask you. Okay. Okay. So let me
thank
just
you.
quickly give you the hint. So between the lines, you can just search your information also. Co-curricular activities are the formal events. Okay, are the formal events related to sports, cultural, or artistic activities. Okay, those will be termed as co-curricular activities. If some formal event happened in the areas of sports, art, culture, okay, literature, okay, those will be termed as what? Co-curricular activities. And if it was not part of some formal system, somebody is simply interested in playing badminton, somebody is simply interested in painting, okay, somebody is simply interested in writing some poem, okay, some story, that is part of what interests. Okay, and these informations are equally important for the employer. Okay, because we all know that all these type of activities also add a lot to a personality. Okay, and that is many a time helpful for the organization's growth. Okay, suppose somebody is having interest in literature. Okay, somebody is having interest in creative writing. Okay, then that particular person will help in the formal communication also for the organization. Do you agree with this point? Okay, that will be a beneficial situation for the organization to have such a personnel in the organization. Okay, so that is how these things are important. So this is the difference between two co-curricular activities and interests. Interests are not the formal situations. Okay, although those also include the same areas: sports, culture, literature, art, etc. Okay, but that is not related to any of the formal situation. Okay, but if these areas are related to a certain formal situation, then it becomes what? Co-curricular activities. Is this difference clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so please read in between. Okay, and I'll have queries. I will ask queries from you. Okay, in the next session about these. Okay, so these are the basic steps of information in a CV. And one at the last, in many of the examples, okay, but those are not at all correct. please do not ever, please cross them at initial stage itself. If you find any type of declaration statement in any CV or resume, okay, that is totally incorrect situation. Okay, in resume or in CV, one should not write any type of declarative statement, like declarative statement like that I hereby declare that all above mentioned informations are true. Okay, this type of sentence is what? Declarative statement, and it should not be written in CV. It is totally incorrect. Okay, because that declaration will be done by the applicant later on. Okay, and a separate form, a separate we can say format will be provided to that person. Okay, that is not part of curriculum writing, and that is the reason this is the, we can say, some informal information we are considered here about CV or resume, and these are the self-prepared document. So till now we do not have any legal existence, okay, of these documents. The employer cannot file a suit, okay, considering CV or resume as an evidence. Okay, but yes, employer can file a suit against any type of falsification, keeping an evidence of a form filled by the applicant. Okay, so this is how we have to keep in mind all these basic informations. Yes, in last, the very lower right corner in CV, okay, the person whose CV it is, person can write full name. Again, that should be enclosed. If that name is written there, that should be definitely enclosed within brackets. It should be duly signed, okay, with the date. Okay, and what date has to be mentioned here? It should be manually done. What date has to be mentioned? The date of forwarding that document to the other side. Okay, so with this, I will conclude here. I have discussed about the various basic essential steps of curriculum vitae, okay, which one has to mention in that document, because this is the essential information required for the employer to select a candidate for the job, okay, for some task. Okay, so in this sequence, I'll just quickly revise all the steps. The first step of information, if you have missed, you can note down. The first step of information is personal details. The second step of information is academic qualifications. The third step of information is computing skills. The fourth step of information is work experience. The fifth step of information is professional qualifications. The sixth step of information is academic achievements or participations. We can write either of the title. Next is professional achievements. And the next step of information is co-curricular
Ma'am, your voice
activities.
is not coming properly.
Yes, yes.
Ma'am, your voice is not coming properly.
Voice is not coming properly. Now,
Ma'am, can you speak something else?
yes. Co-curricular activities.
No, ma'am, I am unable to hear.
And next, maybe there is some network issue at your place. Okay, otherwise, the voice is fine. Okay, that.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Audio is not clear.
Audio is not clear.
No, ma'am.
Okay, then might be there is some problem here in my network. Otherwise, I haven't changed my position. I am at the same position from quite long time. So I'll need not to worry. I'll be forwarding you all the things in writing also. Okay, do not worry about that. The last step is interests. Okay, so these all steps should be there in a CV. Okay, and the sequence should also be this only, whatever we have discussed. And in many of the examples, one more thing I'll add here, you will find one step career objective. We will discuss about that particular step in detail because that is again very important. I'll just tell you what is the position of career objective in a CV. It could be, just note down, it could be after personal details, and later on we can start with academic qualifications, or it could be after interests. Okay, so there could be two positions of writing career objective in a CV. One is
Hello,
Hello.
am I audible?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Well, Snehalata madam, thank you so much. I think there is some network issue from your end. None of us are able to hear you. The last 5 minutes has been pretty disturbing. Before that, it was all right. So I think, madam, you can carry on with the session in our next class. And as of now, let me take over because there is some issue with your connectivity, I guess. Anyway, very good afternoon to all of you. How are you all doing?
I'm fine.
Good, 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 good. Today,
Well,
all of you need to speak. All of you need to interact with me.
yes, sir.
Well done. Well, okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Before we actually formally begin, let me thank Snehalata madam for that lovely speech or the lecture that she has taken because I feel the basic difference between a CV and a resume is something that all of you should know in the beginning itself so that you have a clear idea. And that was a very, very clear speech, and she has mentioned all the important points that it has, and it was lovely. Actually, I think it was pretty good for all of you because even I got to learn a few things. But from my own experience, let me just share one last thing. This will, kind of sum up the entire session that you have heard so far. This will make it easier for you. The thing is that when what happens is like this entire concept of CV and this entire concept of resume, the basic difference that I know would be resumes are actually a very American concept, to be honest. See, what she was saying that in a CV you need to write everything in sentence form. She has mentioned, and this is true. The reason is that in a CV, it is actually a British concept. The CV is a British concept, and Britishers always.
Sir, voice is not clear.
My voice is not clear.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Sir, it is surrounding sound.
okay. I don't know what am I supposed to do. Is anybody's audio unmuted? If it is so, then please mute your audio until I speak, and then when you speak, you can unmute yourself. That could be one reason. So can you hear now? Is it better?
Yes, sir.
Let's continue. This is one perpetual problem that we all have been facing for so long now. It's been 4 months and we are facing this, and really difficult. Anyway, because in India the infrastructure is so bad, the network issues are always there, and since we are in cities, we are still in a better position. Go to villages and you will see how terrible the situation there is. Anyway, so to wrap up this session, I would want to say last session that Snehalata madam took, that CV is more of a British concept and resume is more of an American concept. The Britishers would definitely prefer things which are mostly elaborated. The Britishers would, they're very disciplined people, so they would always prefer things which are very elaborated, which are like complete detail about yourself. And the resume part is more of an American concept who want things to be shorter in size. So they do not want a very elongated description of yourself. Rather, they want to see the highlights of what you have done. So basically, the resume concept is more of an American concept, and CVs are preferred by the United Kingdom. So this was more or less the basic concept that would make things clear to you. Now moving on to the next part, connecting with the last topic that we have discussed today, that is CV and resume. I would extend this a little more. That is, I was thinking of dividing this class into two sections and discuss about two different things, but I really don't know if the time can permit that we can actually talk about two different issues. The first important issue is, see, due to the COVID-19 scenario, we all have been restricted to our homes. The schools, colleges, offices, nothing is opening up, and neither do we see any hope of it opening in the near future. Near future means like next month or so is what I am saying. The present scenario is pretty scary. Those who are from West Bengal, they must be knowing that how badly it is affecting West Bengal and Calcutta and all the suburbs. And I guess, I believe, though I keep a track of the news, but I believe it is the same situation everywhere, be that Rajasthan or West Bengal or Mumbai or Maharashtra or any state that you talk about. The situation is becoming scarier. Even the experts are saying that the last, this is the time when it will go to the peak, and then the, curve will come down. So we are hoping for the best. We hope everybody is safe. But then we have to remember one thing, that due to this COVID situation, that we all have been restricted within the house walls and house boundaries since last 4 months, and this is going to continue for the next few more months. So in that case, I believe that it is important for us to know the important skills that are required to face the camera, because any interview that you go for is going to be online. Any seminar, workshop, or like conference that you attend is going to be online. So everything is going to be online. So I feel that today we should actually talk about a few things that can make your online conferences or your online interactions much better and easier. So, and this relates to another part of my topic, which is public presentation. So I thought of giving a comparative study between the two, public presentation skills and your online presentation skills. So public presentation skills and online presentation skills both demand one thing in the beginning, and that is that you should be knowing the audience you are addressing to. It is very important for all of us to understand that who we are addressing to and what is the level of the people who are listening to me. So once you know that, I think you will be in a better position to prepare yourself for the speech, whoever is there. So getting to know the audience is very important. And then second point that is important is to understand the audience's expectations on you. So once you know what the audience expects out of you, I think you will be in a much better position to deliver what they need to hear from you. So basically, when you go for an online presentation or when you go for an online conferencing or something, and if you are the speaker, then you should know who your audience is, and then you should know what they expect out of you so that you can get that in writing, and whatever you have prepared, you can tally the both, like what you have prepared and what audience wants from you. That way, it will be like a straight line where you can understand that what is good for the audience. Now, moving on. See, basically, the whole important factor is to make the audience impressed. Now, how can you get the audience impressed? It is not so easy. Audiences never fool. They always have certain expectations. So you can never expect the audience to be fooled. So basically, to understand what your audience is looking for within you, then you have to uh, get through the message that you are a part of the audience. Which means if the audience is not in a good mood for certain reasons, if the audience is not happy for certain reasons, maybe the management people have forced them to attend your session, and you are the speaker and they are sitting in front of you, but these guys are not very happy attending your session in the beginning because somebody has forced them to join the session. So they will be in a very grumpy mood. Now, whatever you deliver, that transforms into the audience, and the audience's mood transforms into you. So you have to be in a position where you understand what your audience wants and what is their mood, and accordingly you can deliver. If they're not in a good mood, you have to make the mood lighter. So first you need to understand the nerves of the audience. This is very important. I always say, to be a successful speaker, you have to understand the nerves of audience, what they are looking forward to. And everybody of us like a little humor. Humor is the best quality that any one of us can have. So if you have that little humor in you, that will definitely help you in the long run. So try to make it lighter. And your rate of speech has to be, again, very, very slow in the beginning, as you do not know if the audience can understand what you are saying if you speak it too fast. In my last session, I had already talked about this, so I think you remember. Now today, as I have told you, that it is very easy to listen to it and not act. जब हम सुनते हैं, we always feel it's very easy. हम में से कोई भी कर लेगा. But when you actually face the situation, you know it's not that easy to speak up. So today, as I have told you, that I want to interact with each one of you and find out more so that you have this practice developed within you from day one. So who is going to be the first speaker? Who is going to face me? Now let's see. Can I have anybody who wants to speak up first? Well, I'm not going to ask you any difficult questions. This is very common. This is very general. So anybody who wants to speak up first? See, I can see people leaving, and that's surprising.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, why would you leave? Okay, this is Hitarth Parekh, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Hitarth, can you switch on your camera so that we can see you?
Yes, sir. Wait a minute.
Yeah, sure. Take your time.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Good
Hello.
afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I think last week was your first class, right?
Yes, sir.
I remember your face. Okay, well, Hitarth, today we are going to talk about very, very usual things, very normal things, like if you are asked to talk about three of your qualities that you would never want to change, three qualities in you that you would not want to change ever, what will be those three qualities? How would you define yourself?
First, like a sportsman.
Okay.
Second, superior in my profession. Like
Superior in your profession. Are you already into some profession?
no.
No.
Nee, I will. I want to.
I know, of course, you will become superior in your profession, but three qualities that you already have. You know, three wonderful qualities that you already possess. Talk about that.
Sir,
Are
I'm
you
puzzled.
somebody? Let me help you. Let me ask you a few questions that will give you, the clue, the hint to understand your qualities. Are you somebody who is good at connecting with people?
Sir, I can't listen properly.
I'm asking, are you somebody who is good at connecting with people? Can you connect with people easily?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that is definitely one great quality that you have, Hitarth. If you can connect, today the world is running on one thing, and that one thing is nothing else but networking, connectivity. So if you can connect, that's it. What else do you want? Right?
Right, sir.
So this would be your second quality. So let me talk about the third quality. Another question let me ask. Um, how confident you are about your own skills in life?
Sir, what?
How confident are you in your own skill sets on yourself? How confident are you?
Sir, much more than other person.
Okay, tell me one instance where you have shown your confidence. कोई भी लाइफ का एक किस्सा जहां पे आपने कॉन्फिडेंस दिखाया है.
Sir, one day in my town, our CM came, where they talk about social issues, and I talked with her about our stadium issues, where no one was supposed to talk with her. I did that.
Wow, and you were not scared. You did it confidently.
Yes, sir. I was
This
fully
shows
confident.
This shows that you have a lot of confidence to face the consequences, even if you are the only speaker or you are attending a seminar or a concert. You have the confidence to face the person in front of you, or rather, challenge the person in front of you, and you can be a very, very good speaker. The more knowledge you gain, once you become knowledgeable, you will be in a much better position to face the whole world. So that was fantastic. Three excellent qualities that we have found in you, and it's lovely talking to you. Thank you so much. I'm not going to drill any one of you for too long, just 2-3 minutes maybe. Thank you. So can we
Thank you,
have
sir.
somebody after Hitarth? Can we have someone else? Yes,
What's up?
laptop boy.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Turn on your camera. Let me see.
Sir, can I switch off my camera?
Okay, fine.
Sir, can
No
next
problem.
time I will be prepared all the time
Yeah.
to turn on my camera.
Sir, wait for a
Okay,
minute.
fine. So what's your name?
Sir, Vinay Saini.
Vinay Saini.
Yes, sir.
And you are from Rajasthan?
No, sir, from Haryana.
Acha, from Haryana. Okay. So talk about two very good things about your village, about your town, where you live. Two good things about the place you live.
Sir, two. सर कुछ
कुछ भी बोलो, सब चलेगा. आप जहाँ पे रहते हो वहां पे कुछ तो होगा स्पेशल जो आपको अच्छा लगता है, वही शेयर कर दो.
सर यहाँ के दोस्त तो है ही मेन तो।
गांव के बारे में क्या अच्छा
एंड
है?
नो सर, गांव में तो नहीं रहते, सिटी में है।
हाँ, तो सिटी में क्या अच्छा है?
सर सिटी में तो अच्छा तो खैर नहीं है, यहाँ पे गुंडागर्दी ज्यादा है बस।
ओ गुंडागर्दी। तो आप भी उसमें कभी कभी
नो
शामिल
नो
हो
नो
जाते हैं?
सर, नो नो नो।
ओके, सो यू आर नॉट मच ऑफ अ लड़ाकू टाइप।
व्हाट सर?
आप ज्यादा लड़ाकू टाइप के नहीं हो फिर?
नो सर, नो नो।
अच्छा, तो आपके स्कूल के बारे में बताएं हमें। आपने जहाँ से स्कूलिंग की है उस स्कूल में कौन कौन सी चीजें आपको सबसे ज्यादा पसंद थी?
सर टीचर्स बिल्कुल फ्रैंकली थी।
ओके, और आप स्पोर्ट्स में इंटरेस्ट रखते हैं? स्पोर्ट्स?
सर बैडमिंटन।
वाह, फैंटास्टिक। तो आपने बैडमिंटन खेला हुआ है?
या सर क्लासेस भी ली हुई है।
नहीं, मतलब कोई सीरियस कंपटीशन में? वैसे तो बैडमिंटन हम सब विंटर्स में खेलते हैं, मैं भी खेलता हूँ, लेकिन उसको खेलना नहीं बोलते। सो आई एम आस्किंग कि किसी कंपटीशन में आपने पार्टिसिपेट किया है बैडमिंटन का?
नो सर, फिलहाल तो नहीं किया अभी।
ओके, तो
Sir, sorry to interrupt, but I am also interested in badminton. And sir, I played on district level and I got fourth rank.
वाओ, दैट्स अमेजिंग। एंड यू वर नॉट टेलिंग मी दिस। आपको लगता था नहीं था कि ये, आपको याद ही नहीं आया आपके क्वालिटीज में ये चीज?
Yes, sir.
नहीं नहीं, सो स्टार्ट एक्सप्लोरिंग योरसेल्फ मोर। आपको आपके खुद के बारे में और बहुत कुछ जानना बाकी है। आप सबको प्लीज स्टार्ट एक्सप्लोरिंग योरसेल्फ। व्हाट आर द गुड थिंग्स यू हैव डन इन लाइफ एंड दीज क्वालिटीज विल टेक यू अ लॉन्ग वे। बहुत लंबा लेके जाएगा आपको ये सारे क्वालिटीज। कुछ भी छोटा नहीं होता। मतलब स्पोर्ट्स को तो मैं हमेशा सपोर्ट करता हूँ। I mean, people who are into sports, I love them because of the sportsman spirit they have, because of the kind of challenging nature they have. मुझे स्पोर्ट्स के लोग हमेशा से पसंद। Well done. Okay, laptop boy, again coming back to you. तो आपके
यस सर।
स्कूल में टीचर्स अच्छे थे और क्या अच्छा था स्कूल का?
सर और तो
अच्छा चलो
सर
कोई ना, नेक्स्ट क्लास में प्रिपेयर हो के आना। आपने शहर के बारे में और अपने स्कूल के बारे में सोच के आना कि क्या बोलना है, ठीक है?
ओके सर।
ओके, नाउ लेट अस मूव टू हिमांशु। हिमांशु, हाय, हाउ आर यू?
Yes, sir, I am fine.
यू आर गुड?
Yes, sir.
ग्रेट। तो हिमांशु, आर यू इन द पोजीशन टू स्विच ऑन योर कैमरा?
हाँ सर, एक मिनट।
ओके, यस,
Yes, sir.
वेरी गुड आफ्टरनून।
Good afternoon.
ओके, सो ये जो क्लासेस चल रहे हैं, वॉट एवर क्लासेस वी आर डूइंग राइट नाउ, जो आप लोग कई हफ्तों से अभी कर रहे हो, व्हाट इज द बेस्ट थिंग, व्हाट इज द बेस्ट थिंग यू लाइक अबाउट दीज क्लासेस?
So,
हेलो, आर यू देयर?
hello.
हाँ जी,
Hello, sir.
व्हाट इज द बेस्ट थिंग दैट यू लाइक अबाउट द क्लासेस दैट यू आर डूइंग फॉर सो लॉन्ग?
सर, आपका आवाज थोड़ा कट कट हो रहा है ना।
अच्छा, अभी आपको साफ सुनाई दे रहा है?
सर, यहाँ पे वीडियो ऑन कर रहा हूँ तो ऑडियो नहीं क्लियर हो रहा है।
अच्छा, तो आप वीडियो ऑफ कर दीजिए।
ओके सर,
हाँ, अभी साफ सुनाई दे रहा है आपको?
एकदम एकदम। यस सर।
ओके, नाउ हिमांशु, टेल मी, ये जो हम क्लासेस कर रहे हैं पिछले कई हफ्तों से, हाउ डू यू थिंक दीज क्लासेस आर हेल्पिंग यू ऑल?
सर, ऑनलाइन क्लासेस इज गुड बट ऑफलाइन क्लासेस इज ग्रेट। मतलब ऑफलाइन क्लास को ज़्यादा प्रेफर करूँगा, क्योंकि ऑनलाइन क्लास में ज़्यादा अच्छा नहीं होता। सर कुछ बोले जाते हैं, हम कुछ समझते हैं और।
अच्छा, okay. See, offline classes are good anyway. We all know कि offline classes से better option और कोई हो ही नहीं सकता. And we all are waiting for the college to reopen so that we all can meet and we all can talk. But then again, क्या कर सकते हैं? Situation ऐसा है कि हमारे हाथ में कुछ नहीं है, तो अभी मजबूरन हमें online classes करना पड़ रहा है. But I am sure situations will improve very soon, and we'll be in a better position to meet and talk and face all of us one another. Okay, now who else is there? यहाँ पे काफी सारे लोग हैं. दिव्या शर्मा है, अंकित जैन है, यशु सिंह है, हिमांश चौधरी है, नाम में कुछ नहीं रखा भी है, रिपू भी है. So yes, I've got Sahitya Roy. Sahitya, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good afternoon. चुपचाप बैठे हो, कुछ नहीं बोल रहे हो?
हाँ सर.
मुझे तो लगा you are not even attending the class.
No.
Okay, so are you in a position to switch on your camera?
Yes, sir.
चलो, switch on करो. Very well. Great. So कब से मैं पूछ रहा हूँ कौन बोलेगा and you are not saying a single word. Okay, so tell me, two things about yourself that you do not like.
Do not like.
Yes.
Sir, possessiveness. Emotional.
Possessive about what?
Well, sir, I can't explain, sir.
And are you possessive about everything or you are possessive about only one thing? Tell me that.
Sir, not everything.
Okay, I understood.
Sir.
What about your communication skills? How do you rate yourself as a communicator?
Sir, 3 out of 5, I think.
3 out of 5, which is fair. Okay, so can you tell us one example, one instance where you have spoken to somebody and have been able to convince the person for something?
Sir, can you repeat?
Can you talk about one instance where you have spoken to someone and have convinced the person for something?
Yes, sir.
बताइए.
ऐसा सिचुएशन हुआ था.
बाबा इतना क्या रॉकेट साइंस है? इट्स सच एन इजी क्वेश्चन. कभी किसी को जिंदगी में कन्विंस किया है आपने?
हाँ सर, कन्विंस तो किया है ना.
हाँ तो वही बोलो ना, शेयर करो ना एक एग्जांपल.
सर, oh, sir, like when I uploaded some video in YouTube and say something to share this, and he or she shared this video through his WhatsApp group or something, that's I can convince them.
Okay, so basically you are a friendly person, is what I can understand. That you are a friendly person who can keep good relationship with people already you know in life, and you can be very comfortable with them, for the rest of your life. So you are somebody who can keep in touch. That is important. Again, coming back to networking. So you are more of a good networker, right? Got your point. Okay. Now, so how do you like the classes that we
Yes,
are
sir.
doing? How do you like the classes?
Yes, sir, it's pretty good. The basic concept of physics, maths is clear now.
Mhm.
And after that type of a session, we can learn something new, like this personality development skill, some how to write a CV, how to convince a person. That type of new things will can learn through this
Okay.
session.
So if I ask you to talk about two things that, or maybe one thing that you do not like about me, what that would be?
Sir, can I answer?
Sir, I can't listen.
I am asking that if I ask you to talk about one quality that you do not like about me, what that would be?
In you, sir.
Yes, in me.
So everything is good in you.
Oh, that's such a politically correct answer. Okay, cool. I won't drill you anymore. बाकी बहुत सारे लोग हैं सबको परेशान करते हैं थोड़ा थोड़ा करके. Yes, who's next? Ankit Jain.
Good morning, sir.
Very good afternoon, Ankit. How are you doing?
Nice, sir.
So, Ankit, आप कहाँ से हो? Where are you from?
Ranchi, Jharkhand.
Oh, wow, fantastic. And how is the situation there?
Raining, sir.
Raining?
Yes, sir.
अरे raining तो ठीक है. What about COVID? How is the situation regarding COVID?
Sir, very little COVID here.
So situation is under control.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you live at Ranchi, you said?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's fantastic. I have been to Ranchi when I was very young, but I do not remember because I was like hardly 3-4 years old. My Buaji used to live in Ranchi, so I've been to Ranchi when I was very young. Anyway, so what is your opinion regarding the classes?
Sir, from my opinion, classes are going very good and nice. Teacher teaching us very nicely, and we are able to understand and connect with teachers. And classes are going very well.
Fantastic. So can you talk about one topic that you would really want to know more about? One topic that we should prepare and give more information on?
Ethical hacking.
Critical learning.
Ethical hacking, sir.
Hacking. Oh my God, that's not my subject.
Yes, sir.
What about my subject?
How to teach correctly English, because my English is very poor, and how I can able to talk very freely in English.
Okay. So you basically think that your your communicative English is not that good, and how you can improve that.
Yes, sir.
But then again, whatever I heard just now, I don't think you are bad. I think you are fantastic. With practice, with time, this will be perfect. So don't worry. Don't be too stressed about how you speak. Just try to speak whatever comes to your mind. That is more than enough.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So who's next? And we have Himanish Chaudhary. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Oh, hi. How are you doing?
Fine, sir.
Good. So today's class, I did not want to give you some lecture like I always do. I just wanted to interact with all of you and find out how you are enjoying the classes. How do you think we can improve? So this is one common question that goes to all of you, that if you have any suggestions regarding our classes, regarding these classes, you can share that. There are certain topics that you would want to know more about. You can share that with us. So, do you have any suggestions for us? Do you have any topic that you would want to listen to? Yes, I did not get you. Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, sir.
हाँ, तो बताइए हिमांश।
सर बोलिए।
मैं ये पूछ रहा हूँ कि ऐसा कोई टॉपिक है जिस पे आप चाहते हो कि हम आपको उस टॉपिक पे बताएं। So do you have any suggestions, any topic?
No, sir.
अरे ऐसा कैसे नो? कुछ तो होगा। अच्छा, तो मतलब you are happy with whatever we are teaching?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. ठीक है. Fine. So, Sumit Ghosh, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Hi, Sumit. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
So, any suggestions? How are you?
Fine, sir.
Okay. Any suggestions? Any topic that you would want to learn?
In English or how to improve my vocabulary more?
Vocabulary. Okay.
Yes,
so
sir.
You want to learn more about vocabulary.
Yes, sir.
Then I can give you a quick suggestion. Whenever we travel in bus, in train, in cars, in whatever, only if you are not driving, make sure when you are sitting in the passenger seat, whenever you are on the street, there are thousands of hoardings and advertisements that you see all around. Like,
yes,
सारे शहर में सब जगह हमें advertisements और hoardings दिखते हैं. So it is a very good habit to develop, a habit of reading those advertisements. When you read such advertisements and hoardings, you come across new words that adds to your own vocabulary. Ye point number 1 hai. And point number 2, when you read them, you actually get to see the spelling of the word also. So that improves your writing skill too. So all of you, please develop this habit of reading hoardings and advertisements. It is कि आपको उस प्रोडक्ट को खरीदना है इसलिए नहीं पढ़ना है, आपको पढ़ना है ताकि आपको नए वर्ड्स मिल जाए अपने वोकैबुलरी में ऐड करने के लिए, और सारे लिखे हुए वर्ड्स का स्पेलिंग आपके दिमाग में क्लियर हो जाए. आगे चल के जब आप लिखोगे कुछ भी जिंदगी में तो आपको वो स्पेलिंग हेल्प करेंगे. सो दिस इज अ वेरी इजी ट्रिक. हम जनरली बच्चों को बोलते हैं ये चीज कि आप करो, ये डेवलप करो. मैं आज भी करता हूँ ऑनेस्टली. whenever I am on the streets, whenever I am sitting in a car or maybe in a bus, whatever, I always try to read the hoardings. That really helped me, and this habit I have from very young age because my mother would always ask me to do that. So I'm sharing this with you. This is a very practical tip by which you can do a lot of betterment within yourself. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, newspaper, English newspaper.
Yes, Himanshu.
English newspaper follow कर सकते हैं.
किसी भी चीज में भी I always say कि न्यूज़पेपर में ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको न्यूज़ जानने के लिए न्यूज़पेपर फॉलो करना है. न्यूज़ जानने के कई तरीके होते हैं. यू कैन ऑलवेज रीड अ न्यूज़पेपर ऑफ योर मदर टंग जिसमें आपको न्यूज़ के बारे में पता चल जाएगा. यू कैन वॉच द न्यूज़ ऑन टीवी जिससे आपको न्यूज़ के बारे में पता चल जाएगा. बट हफ्ते में एक दिन, once a week, keep an English newspaper and read that same newspaper for the entire week. हफ्ते में एक दिन रखो घर पे और पूरा हफ्ता पढ़ो. आपके पढ़ने के पीछे न्यूज़ जानने का आइडिया नहीं है. आपके पढ़ने के पीछे ये आइडिया है कि आपको नए नए वर्ड्स मिल जाए. बट देन अगेन लेट मी से अ वर्ड ऑफ कॉशन. न्यूज़पेपर में जो इंग्लिश यूज होता है वो हम जनरली डे टू डे लाइफ में यूज नहीं करते, मोस्टली हम नहीं करते, but still there are certain words which we can use. Always keep a dictionary handy, so whenever you are stuck with some particular word in that newspaper, try to refer to your dictionary and find out the meaning of that word. और next time जब आप इंग्लिश बोले तो इन सारे वर्ड्स का आप इस्तेमाल करें. That will be easier for you.
Okay, sir.
Clear?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir, for the tip.
Clear, sir. Clear. Okay, sir.
Okay, so is there anybody else who would want to say something? Hello,
Hello.
Siddharth?
Yes, sir. Sir, how much long the classes will go on a single day?
I don't know, all of a sudden the volume has reduced and I am unable to hear. Can you hear me properly?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
well, your volume has reduced to a considerable amount and I cannot hear. So, can you quickly write the question in your chat box?
Yes, sir.
Can you write it? How much? No, I'm actually planning to, complete the class for the time being. I think the previous session was pretty long for you, so I won't be extending this class for too long. So maybe we can meet up next week and we can discuss things. So I hope you do not have any more questions as of now.
No, sir. Sir, actually, it is my first class. So I do. It is my first class.
Well, there is some problem with the audio. Well, let me just wrap up this session for today, and I shall meet you all next week. Vivek sir, are you there? Acha, it's your first class. Welcome, welcome to the class. Welcome to the class to both of you. The schedule is from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. 11 बजे से 1 बजे तक. 2 hours.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I think we should wrap up the session for today because there is some audio issue that is happening from my end. I'm not very sure. Uh, okay, we'll try to, kind of see into it. We'll look into it, Ankit. Thank you for the suggestion. We'll definitely do that. Thank you and hope to see you all very soon. And do take care of yourselves and see you in the next class. Vivek sir, are you there? Vivek sir, it seems there is some problem and you all are welcome and hope to see you all soon.